wishing all the people of southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, a Christmas filled with hope, peace, and the warmth of unity in the face of conflict. May the spirit of Christmas bring comfort to the prisoners of conscience, strength to the refugees, and courage to the Ambazonian restoration forces. Let the light of the season inspire us to stand together in solidarity and work towards a future of peace and freedom. From ABC Amba TV, on behalf of the government of Ambazonia, may the message of love and resilience shine brightly in the hearts of all. Christmas of hope, unity in adversity.
Alert. This is Dr. Martin Mungwa, Secretary of State for Communication and IT for the government of the Federal Republic of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. Dear Ambazonians, today I come for talk to you on three very important points, and I really want me to listen very carefully because these points will be very important. The first point are actually some breaking news. In the next day or so, when I hear some very important things about this revolution, about the successes and the results of the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia as far as this revolution is concerned. Also an indication of Dr. Sako's leadership, a leadership of results, not just a leadership of hot air. And I repeat, not just a leadership of hot air. So in the next couple of days, when I will be your show testament, all the things we will talk about as far as this revolution is concerned. The second point, I just want to remind Ambazonians. A couple of weeks ago, the government of the Federal Republic of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, it informed Ambazonians how La République du Cameroon can pick up unsuspecting 39 Pekin from Bamenda, ostensibly for go train them so that they will guard government offices and banks, but they end up now for barracks and Kutaba. They train them as killers for come back kill on people. And the story, as we come for realize, the story where they will tell the parents and the mama and papa, they will say they no one immediately begin they join Amba. So the one take them for go get them work, pay them 50,000 francs a month. The mama and papa, they will be excited. And of course, our unsuspecting parents, they feel say government, they always mean a good thing. Of course, they will be shocked that this people they come back as killers. And this message we will try for tell Ambazonians. So anything where La République government they tell one not be true. They just fool one for kill one. Because a country where the day on high unemployment, you just can't carry na Ambazonia picking for getting work. Ask yourself that very question. Of course, not be true. And this one lead me to the second thing I want to tell one, which way don't happen for Bakassi recently. When I hear say so on suspecting or unknown armed men or gunmen they go kill some chief for Bakassi. Now they picking the way they go train them from DDR and elsewhere. They go conduct this murder. And might just remind one, anytime where La République Cameroon want to do something, the others send beginning from DDR, or they will give some fake announcement for something, and then immediately after the crime will be committed, and then very likely you hear Cho Ayaba or Capo Daniel, they can't talk in that one. Now the contractor is this for La République Cameroon, where they take over the crimes when they don't commit from Ambazonia, simply for tarnish with image in the world, say now we people that they kill with people. And exactly we don't have it happen for Bakassi. A few days or a week earlier, we'll be here this announcement for conference between Cho Ayaba and Simon Ekpa for the Biafran separatists. They talk to the one day press conference, and immediately after that, we hear about the killing. So the whole idea being and saying they go take you here. Now these Biafra people, where they don't connive with Ambazonians for can't kill Nigeria, in order for Nigeria for declare war against Ambazonia. This one and the modus operandi where France, it tell La République now the only way this one will not win this war. And so you get for implicate Ambazonians. So many Nigerian vex can attack Ambazonia because we not fit defeat these people. Now the same thing when they do for Niger. Now here have France will be behind these countries. The same they go attack Niger. But after the people themselves have discovered, say now just for protect French interests, they withdraw and France don't get anything for do. Now they try to go find uranium now for Nepal, for some part for India or wherever. So I just want to remind Ambazonia say France is just manipulate the Cameroon so many can kill with people them and hoping say we can succumb under them. So the last thing I will try for tell us now say on the behalf of the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, we don't discover say ever since we restore our government, the whole notion of interim government don't disappear. We need to hear anybody stand up up again called and says that the interim government. I think said the one are good news. I want some people to join the local government. Some will have hands on deck for fight this fight. So it'll be very important. And this message don't go across. The word interim government are never here now for a long time. And I hope so those people, when they want to use the interim government to destroy we, they don't see the path and they'll join we in order for us to move forward. And then one more time, I just want to remind Ambazonians, say today na ghost town day. And we want to be very vigilant because La Republic they use them for kidnap people, for ask for ransom. This thing where 2-3 Mondays ago, this beginning begin to play for a chair, behind chair. They can't catch them. Someone they kill them or they take someone for ransom. I want someone will just be situational awareness. I don't talk several times. Every week, I will remind one of the importance of situational awareness. So I just want to let people know. So the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia will be out for protecting una. We'll be out for giving una all the advice that we get as a government. So we'll move in safety for sovereignty. And while waiting for this big news where you will come out in the coming days. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Good evening and welcome. We're sorry for starting late. Over a year ago, 3 brethren, very devoted and instrumental in our liberation movement, were unjustly indicted and since have been in confinement without judgment. But what seemed to be a glimmer of hope happened yesterday. In an unprecedented wave of diplomatic progress, esteemed international human rights lawyer Lennox Hinds has made remarkable strides in what appears to be an influential lobbying effort. This surge of diplomacy is setting the stage for what is anticipated to be a pivotal national address, or should I say questioning by the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. But before we even delve into that aspect, there are some things in his article that I would like us to look at it. And the President will explain to us the significance of some of these things. Now, in an article that was published by Oped, the prosecution of Clochi, Nestor Langmi, and Francis Chenye, 3 Southern Cameroons-born U.S. citizens in Kansas City, is one such unfortunate case. The way these men, also known as the Kansas City 3, were arrested and incarcerated without bail for 12 months now without trial by the U.S. government on very questionable charges is wrong and incompatible with American values. Any objective and critical investigation of the underlying background of this case will reveal that the issues underlying these charges related to a political struggle for self-determination within the context of a West African state, not organized terrorism. I am a legal representative of the accused. These are the words of Hinds, of the accused persons. However, I want to ensure that justice is done and seen to be done. This is just a portion of Attorney Hinds' article that was published by Hinds yesterday, by Oped yesterday. The political landscape buzzes with anticipation as this breakthrough could signal a significant turn in the current affairs. So I would like you to join us with the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia as we delve into the implication of this development and what it means for the nation's future and also for the case. But before we want to know who is Hinds, Lennox Hinds is a professor emeritus of law and former chair of the Administration of Justice program, Rutgers University. He is admitted to practice before the U.S. Supreme Court, the International Criminal Court for Rwanda, the International Criminal Court for Yugoslavia, the Permanent International Criminal Court in The Hague, and the Special Court of Sierra Leone. He was Nelson Mandela's U.S. attorney and counsel in the U.S. to the government of South Africa, the African National Congress of South Africa, and of Namibia. He is the permanent representative to the United Nations for the International Association of Democratic Lawyers. And by some amazing grace, he happens to be the attorney that has been employed by President Sako to attend to the cry of Ambazonian vis-a-vis the Canvas 3. At this juncture, I will invite the President of Ambazonia to join us in this conversation and to give us more light on the issue. Mr. President, good evening and welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Paddy. Thank you, televiewers, and thank you for having me today. I just want us to talk freestyle and let me answer some few questions while I prepare you for my end of year speech. That will be a complete um, summary of the year and how we look forward to do business in the coming year. So I'm here with you for the next probably 1 hour. So thank you for having me.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I hope we'll be able to make it for 1 hour. You know, Ambazonians have a lot of concerns, and anytime they have you, they feel like you should just answer everything overnight. But this is the situation. A year ago, about this same time, Ambazonians, home and abroad, were concerned. Fear was creeping in our communities, in our LGAs and counties, within the government. You had even government officials who had concerns as to their participation in the prosecution of our liberation movement. 1 year later, we'll get some glimmer of hope coming in from the efforts that you have been able to put in place. I know that is where everyone is looking forward for us to begin. But I'd like us to start by you telling us the journey so far since these comrades who have been working with you very closely since their apprehension, how have you been doing? And why are we here now? Or why are they still in confinement? These are all questions that Ambazonians want answers, but maybe you want to give us some details before this breakthrough.
Yes, it's a very unfortunate thing for anyone to be fighting for a just cause and find himself or herself uh, battling to justify what he's doing or what he or she is doing, not for himself, for his people. It's very difficult. About 1 year ago, that was in November, our comrades were uh, in response to to complaints that were so surely orchestrated by the CPDM regime and their beneficiaries in the diaspora. Our comrades were arrested, And you know, the justice system can grind slowly because there are many things involved. When something gets to the courts, it is no longer what it doesn't follow your timetable, doesn't follow my timetable, doesn't follow. It follows something else that we don't understand. But thank God for the law because the law it regulates the law, and that's why there are attorneys to help us interpret the law, to ensure that the law is followed, that justice is done, and is not only done but is seen to be done. And that is why some of us that are novices in the law will always rely on the expert opinion of those who are learned in the trade, who can interpret the law correctly and ensure that those that are in charge of enforcing the law, even in the United States, follow the law. So it has been a very um, painful journey, especially for the families of our colleagues and friends and comrades, and especially for our loved ones. But one thing I wanted to tell you at this moment that this is a family moment, Christmas, is that our comrades are in very high spirits, and if they had a way to be on this show tonight, they will even probably encourage you more than myself. They have all realized that we are living for something that is greater than all of us. Yes, why we're living for something greater than all of us, and that's why our greatest joy is to be numbered amongst those who will make these sacrifices. They are willing to go all the way to make sure that they are remembered for the right reasons, that they back out. Matter of fact, they told me to tell you not to give, that this is our fight. We shall not pass this over to another generation. This is right, and this is the right thing to do. If were to be born again, one of them said, if they were to be born again in another life, if that were possible, they will, and there is this fight to fight. They will fight it again because it's the right thing to do, and so we have to do it. We that are still enjoying our freedom can move around, walk around, and do the things we need to do. We have no reason. If those who have been incapacitated by reason of incarceration are saying we cannot give up, then you and I have no reason whatsoever to give up. So that's my encouragement. And justice has to be done. When God start bringing people like this to our cause, when God start bringing forces like this to be interested in our case and take it on themselves, not because of the gain, not because of any interest, but just because the truth should prevail, then you know that a new era has been ushered in this fight. And so I believe that um, if somebody thought by any means that they will they will they will they will just keep these people back there. I know there are some forces extraneous which are trying to ensure that the people are kept there so that sometimes through pain you might just agree. I know people who have been tortured to agree that they are guilty and accept the lesser punishment, which will be for freedom. Uh, the, all those gymnastics are possible, but I want to tell you that none of those kind of things, or if not even the pain, has broken the spirit of our people. And since that has not happened, now the law has to be fully interpreted. Justice cannot be delayed forever. I was searching the other day to find out how much delay in justice constitutes injustice. How much delay injustice will constitute denial of justice. I said there is a lot of discretion that judges have. In the United States, federal judges are like gods. That means the only thing they cannot do is there's nothing they cannot do. That's how they can do anything. So probably they have um, a longer time frame for any delays to be considered denial of justice. But even no matter how long, there is a time that when experts like this are looking at it and say, "But this is America. This is doesn't look like America. How long should a man justice for anyone be delayed for it to constitute denial?" I think that question is being asked now, and other questions. That's why, and not by some mean fellows, but the people who understand the law and who have fought this kind of fight throughout their lifetime. That's why I want to appreciate Professor Lennox Hinds for being such a friend to Ambazonia.
That's amazing. Mr. President, I've read his article at least 5 times, and he uses very strong language with a lot of audacity. Now, before we get into the relationship between your government and Professor Hinds, I want to read something in his article so that you can explain that to us in the context of a case that was probably a criminal case and that was tapped under terrorism, and which is now shifting grounds into diplomacy, what the significance of that would be. So before we get into that relationship, let me read something he wrote. He says, the way these men, also known as the Kansas City Three, were arrested and incarcerated without bail for 12 months, now without trial by the US government on very questionable charges, is wrong and incompatible with American values. This is an international human rights lawyer. You've already heard his profile. He says, an objective and critical investigation of the underlying background of this case would reveal that the issues underlying these charges relate to a political struggle for self-determination within the context of a West African state, not organized terrorism. I am not a legal representative of the accused persons. However, I want to ensure that justice is done and seen to be done. What is the value of such declarations or engagement from a high personality like Attorney Hinds vis-a-vis the case we have now? And we understand that Cameroon is pushing hard to ensure that it is identified as terrorism. Please talk to us.
Yes, that is the only way these agents of La Republique could get the court in another country to be interested in what is happening in the southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. They needed to do whatever they did to couch the whole accusation or indictment as a criminal indictment. In that case, international jurisdiction will apply. But as long as it remains a political issue, no country has the jurisdiction to adjudicate over political issues happening in other countries. So they did that. But in reality, Professor Hinds is putting the issue the way it is. This is a political issue. That's the foundation. Whatever the pieces they're trying to put together to make it look otherwise, that is just the artwork of a painter trying to paint something what it is not. This is purely a political issue. Even the central government, the federal government, the executive branch of the United States of America recognizes that there is a political problem between Cameroon and the southern Cameroons. They recognize it not just by words of mouth, not just by the words of the executives of the government, but by acts even of the Congress. There have been Senate resolution upon resolution, and the latest was the Senate Resolution 684 of the 117th Congress, Senate. So this is clearly a political issue. So if the executive says it's political, the Congress says it's political, why should the judiciary see it differently? So that is the foundation. That is the underlying truth about what is going on. So he needed to bring that perspective to the judiciary, because the judiciary, the law is technical sometimes. But they forget you can just center on the technicalities and forget the justice. The justice goes beyond technicalities. You should understand, for you to render justice, you must go beyond technicalities and render the justice of the issue. The justice of this matter is that there is a political issue between two countries that came together in an experimental union, and one annexed the other and used their superior military to annex and subjugate the other side, reduce them from a country to a province, and then from a province to a region. So today, when you want to talk somewhere, they say you are the southwest and northwest regions of Cameroon. That's nonsense. These are two countries that came together for a union of two states of equal status. Anyone in the United Nations and international system who says that's not true should challenge me now. So that is the foundation of the matter. And I'm very happy for leaders in this country who have made clear statements demonstrating understanding of what is happening. And anyone who is anywhere in the world, what will you do when your country is invaded? When your own kindred, your brothers, your sisters, 50,000+ are massacred over a period, what will you do? What are the do's and the don'ts you can do to help your people? What will you do? Will you stay aloof, fold your hands, and say, well, God knows? What does even the law of the United States say you can do? In this country, in the United States of America, self-defense is not just a right, but it's a right that should be promoted. That's what it is. It's not just a right, should be promoted. Matter of fact, we are not just supposed to defend ourselves, we are supposed to defend a neighbor that is facing imminent danger. That is what is expected of a good citizen in the United States of America. So what will you do? So the truth is, those who go to the law expect that the legal system might not fully understand the issue and may render justice based on whatever perspective they bring and whatever they are able to prove. So that is their calculation when they go to the judiciary and dodge the Congress and dodge the executive and hope to somewhere obtain a favorable ruling from one dark corner and bring it out here and celebrate victory.
Yeah.
So that is why when more eyes are now looking at the matter, and not some mean eyes, but people who know what they are talking about. Because if this was some mean fellow, they would say he doesn't know what he's talking about. if he was some novice at law, they'll say maybe he just doesn't know what he's talking about. But you can't say that to the one who defended Nelson Mandela when he was called a terrorist by the United States.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
cannot call him a novice that he doesn't know what he's talking about. You cannot call the one who is the president and the representative of democratic lawyers internationally in the United Nations as a novice that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Are you kidding me? They know he knows what he's talking about. That's why I appreciate his interest and his own personal analysis and his opinion on this matter. And I know that the whole judicial system will not consider his opinion as a mere something as rubbish. No, so many people will. This will, if it will do anything, I think it will increase curiosity around this story right now. If people thought that it was just something held in one office with what, some 3, 4 people seated, no. Now it will engender the kind of curiosity that every political matter should have, should be able to generate for it to be solved correctly. Because once it is reconsidered as a political matter for what it is, then the grounds are available to dismiss the case. And I think I want to appreciate his parallel between what the Ukrainians
Mhm.
everywhere in the world are doing to support Ukraine in money. Myself, I have donated money to Ukraine for the struggle of Ukraine.
You
I have,
made this statement, you made this statement 1 year ago. I was just
yes.
about asking you a question. What is, because I know you're a very diligent leader, but just to ask what's your understanding of the legality of this issue, but you have responded already to that. So now I want us to take it to a whole new level as to why I know you are the mastermind behind this concept of trying to shift the discussion into diplomacy. That at the time when Cho Ayaba from Norway sent out statements to mock you, last year about this time you made speeches, a couple of speeches, telling and educating not just Amazonians but the world, justifying why you believe that these three comrades who have worked very closely with you are not criminals, but merely activists fighting for freedom. And by the laws, international laws, they are supposed to be protected. What were you thinking, or what were you thinking differently from everyone, even some members of your government who exercise some fear? A lot of people, because of the way the indictment was presented, felt that, hey, we have to reconsider our stance vis-a-vis the struggle. What was, or what were you thinking differently from every other person that is bearing fruits today?
First of all, I looked. I know the people we are talking about. So I know the people they would. There are some people that if you tell me they did something, my mind would be they probably did it. Let me just find out why they did it. Then there are people that if you tell me they did something, my mind is I don't think they did it. Let me find out why they are saying this about them. Because I already know these people. They are not criminals. And if you call them criminals 1,000 times, I will not have a doubt in my mind. They are not. These are gentlemen. They have no record. Let them check every. The criminals don't just emerge from sainthood and just become criminals. No, they have a record. They have a way. These are professionals. These are American citizens par excellence. These are people who abide by the law of the land for the years, and they are law-abiding American citizens, even in the struggle to help those who are being massacred and butchered by the government of Cameroon. They have done this with integrity. So when I heard people say, "No, no, 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 this something is happening," I said, that's not true. I will not succumb to that. I know that truth ultimately prevails, and I cannot fear, even if lies appear to prevail for a season. The truth ultimately prevails, and that's why I make my choice, not by the numbers that will support that position, but by the level of my conviction that this is right or wrong. So when I know that it is a wrong thing to try to punish or convict people that are doing right, people that are doing the right thing, people that are doing what you. Thank God there was no Ukraine then, right? There was no Ukraine because Ukraine actually came to be in February. Then look at what has happened later. Has it not taught us that if somebody wanted to draw back because of some people who are being tried to be uh, uh, misconstrued for being criminals, if somebody tried to draw back, would it not be ashamed now that the Ukrainians are doing 20 times what we are even trying to do to support our own? Will you not be ashamed if you try to withdraw, thinking that the Jews all over the world are doing more than 100 times everyone from his corner to support Israel or even the Hamas? Don't you see that people are doing everything to make sure that their people are free? Shame on you if you decide to turn away because you think that why should I be in trouble because I want to help some people, especially those of us in the diaspora who have a choice. You think you have a choice. After all, if the revolution fails, you will not fail. You will still live your life. So why should I suffer? You don't want to take the little pain, even the possibility that you can feel pain because of doing this. No. There are people on the ground when I think about it, that there are some people on the ground who don't have a choice. They have to face the bullets. They have to face this situation. Their hope is victory. That's all. Without victory, they are done. So I decided that I will stand because I also know the American law. I know that I know what self-defense is and how it is defined. I know how it is defined, how it is practiced in America. I know the limits of the American law within the American society for any good American citizen. And we know that we are working within those parameters. Why should I be afraid? You cannot, even if when you are not guilty, you cannot be afraid. Even if they tell you Armageddon is falling now on everyone and something is about to come and sweep away everybody here, if you are not guilty, you will not be afraid and you will not be, unless you're a coward. Yeah. So we are not coward. No coward is a revolutionary. The revolutionary cannot be a coward. It's somebody who believes in something that this is right and this is the right thing to do, and you are ready to do it to the end. I am ready to do what is right to the end. Like Christ, I'm ready to do what is right, even if I died doing that. I died the way I should die. For what is right. So that is who we are. We are here to do the right thing, not because it's the easy thing, not because it's the safest thing, not because it's the simplest thing to do, but it's because it's the right thing to do.
Mr. President, since 2018, you took over office. Fortunately, I was opportune to be one of those that will will be tutored by you in the liberation movement from when you were Dr. Common Sense. You have never wavered or blinked at any given moment talking about self-defense. Now, from stage to stage. We saw President Sako and friends being kidnapped. We have seen the Cameroon government lobbying internationally to accuse you and others for being terrorists. Even after the arrest of those who seem to be closest to you because of the same vision that you had, these were people serving under your vision. Did you at any given moment feel threatened? If yes, why? If no, what is your support system?
I was not moved, and I will not be moved because I don't sit here, I don't wake up here in the morning trying to look for a crime to commit. So I am not one. So if somebody is looking for a criminal, he will surely go next door. So I can't be afraid. Even if they knock my door 20 times, I will know it's a mistake. And even if they mistook me for the wrong person, I know they will let me go because I am not one. Why should people be afraid when they are not guilty? And I know that the law is there not not just to punish evil, but to protect the good. So I believe in the justice system in the United States that though it might appear that somebody is guilty, but when the justice is fully applied, the truth will surface. So that's my confidence. I'm not afraid. I wouldn't be afraid. Am I? And you see, the perpetrators of evil wish that the good should be afraid. Those who are good, those who are doing right, those who are fighting for justice should be afraid, so that evil will just prevail by forfeiture. No, we're not going to be afraid for doing the right thing because those who are evil are not afraid of doing their evil. So I know that in the United States we have right. We have been denied a lot in Amazonia by those who are next to our country, those who are killing our people. In the United States and most of the Western world where we have refuge, we know that the law is able to protect us if we remain on the good side, respecting the law and doing the things that we do. So when you talk and try to incriminate me, I don't need to listen to you. I need to look at the content of what I do. I need to be sure that it is right. And if I think it is right, you're wasting your time. You can't frighten me because I'm not a coward. If you really want to frighten me, you should tell me exactly and show me exactly how I'm doing wrong. But if you think that you can just maybe insult and accuse and hype your accusation all over the place, I will scared. They are shouting this, so let me just scare away. No, you can't scare me. You rather get me enraged when you do that.
That's amazing. I want to believe that uh, the what we are seeing today from Anthony Hinds is just a debut of what Amazonians should expect in the days ahead. At this point, Amazonians would like to know more about your relationship or the relationship of your government with these high profile personality within the American society and the world of politics. And also to tell us a little bit more of your endeavors with the lobbyist. For those who are not aware, might be privy to this information that your government has been investing a lot of resources lobbying statesmen like Attorney Hinds so that we can have an advancement. Before you even give us that explanation, we would like to know what to expect in this relationship.
Yes, uh, Professor Hines is a friend of Ambazonia. He's a friend of Ambazonia. All Ambazonians, they should know that we have a friend. His name is Professor Hinds. He came to he joined our community, came closer to me in 2020. See, 2019, 2020, I think 2020. He was recommended by the U.S. Institute for Peace, which works with the State Department, to help us during when the Swiss process was still on the table. He came in to help us to prepare us as a people, as Team Amazonia, for eventual negotiation or negotiated settlement with La République du Cameroun. So he was with us, preparing us technically for that, and he's still with us. If not that, um, the Swiss talks uh, were abruptly, prematurely ended by the unilateral decision of Yaoundé, of Paul Biya. Probably would have seen more of Professor Hinds in another capacity. So, since Yaoundé unilaterally withdrew from the talks and decided to double down on the military's option and kill more people, he is like stayed back, waiting for the moment when he can help us, especially in terms of preparing us for negotiation. So that is how we came to know ourselves. Even after the failure, we have maintained contact. But when this issue dragged for a while, he took interest on his own to say, what is going on here? And decided to look deeper into the matter. And as one who is not a stranger, he is not a stranger to this. Yeah, he probably is one of the most informed legal experts in this country about what is going on between the Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroon. So I think even the government, if they really needed to get expert testimony and somebody that can help them understand the issues, of course, Professor Hinds will do that free of charge. So he's one of those experts that understand the issue to the core, what it is and what it is not, and how we can go about resolving this problem. So that's why I believe that today his opinion piece, not just it's authoritative enough. It's not just another opinion that can be thrown away with the back of the hand, because everybody in the place in the state in the place of justice want to be seen to do the right thing. So, and he's somebody who, for as an African, uh, uh, he has the blood of Africa flowing through his veins, and he has demonstrated it not by his color, but by the assignments he has done for throughout his life career of about 50 years in this country. So you know that he is a library of authority on the issues of the on the continent. So he's not making these opinions lightly; he's making them authoritatively, and is somebody who is very, very humble. He will anyone when if they reach him, anyone who reaches him, he can offer them his wise and reliable counsel on this. So I believe that this opinion piece will be read all around um, the justice system, the corridors of the justice system, because it's not some mean opinion on a very important issue like this one.
Is there any possibility that at any given point or moment he can be directly involved? That is, if the 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 the, the prosecution prolongs, involved in court.
Oh yes, that we will talk about that. First of all, now we have attorneys that are there. We have three attorneys that are working in the case. And if need be, we have we have those who are representing in court, and we have those who are preparing the case, who may not be represented in court. So who may not be parties or seated on the bench, but who are participating in the defense. But if need be that it needs to appear in court, that will be done. So, but I think that he's already doing something to make sure that justice is done. And if the next step is needed for him to step into the ring and do something directly as Professor Hinds, that is not a difficult thing. That's as easy as tomorrow's sunrise.
Now, talk to us very briefly as we make progress about these lawyers in court. I know it's costing the government particularly a lot, and you're trying to put all the lawyers together to prosecute. Just give us a hint about these lawyers that are currently defending our comrades.
Yes, I will not give their names, but I will just use this moment to appeal that all those who
Mm.
are making extra sacrifices, having drafted for their counties, their FGAs, the central government, and supported here and supported there, and have still made extra sacrifice for our legal defense. I said, thank you, you did well. And I want to challenge those others who are thinking about doing something. You know that I looked at this matter like a test run by Yaoundé agents in the diaspora. They did this for a test run. They started doing some test runs since 2018. They did one, it did not work. They did some in California, it did not work. And so on. This is that's whatever they wanted to do. They know they cannot come against us as a movement. That would be a mountain to climb. So they try to extract like a lion that is trying to steal a calf from the troop. They will just be trying to sight, just target one while the troop is running past the lion. The lion will be looking for one and to jump. When the lion gets that one, it's encouraged to do more. So that is what the lion is trying to do. Say, if I target one, I just may succeed. And when I succeed, I will go for the next one. So this, though you might look at it, is happening far away from you. It was a county executive of a certain county, and you are not part of this. You are not part of that. You are not even in the U.S. or you are not. You are in the U.S. but you are not there and there. You think that is happening far away from you. It has nothing to do with you. But I want you to know that when the enemy is strategizing against our struggle, it strategizes against us as one people. Yeah. So what it's one for all for one. That is what it is, and they know that. So if they can get one, they will probably get all. So instead of
Yeah.
if seeing they cannot get all, let them get one. Then from one, they will get all. So if they succeed, they will be encouraged to do more of this distraction and 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 uh, and affliction of our struggle and discouragement. They will do more of this. That imagine that things go the way we see them going right now, and this thing is knocked out completely, and they fail. Do you know how discouraging that will be to everything they have put in place to do? Do you know how they will not try again to do anything like that? They will be discouraged for go. Whoever, whatever the means they have at their disposal to do things like this, I think the pockets will run dry. So we have to make sure that we win a strategic. A strategic battle is one that when you win, others may not even come again. So when you win that battle, you win all. This is a strategic battle to win, so that we can win this and win all. So this one is like winner takes all. Anyone who wins it will say, "Oh, therefore I'll have." It will have all kinds of interpretations. People will say that means they have defeated Ambassador. You will hear it. You will say, "Oh, that means they have defeated Ambassador. Ambassador is finished." Then turn it around. The day that is thrown away from court and dismissed, what will be said? What do you think will be said? Amazonians have defeated us. They have thrown us out of their courts. Let's win such strategic battle. Let's put our hands together, our resources to win such a strategic battle because it will mean a lot to our morale. It will mean a lot to our the enthusiasm. It will mean a lot to our people who are looking up to us as doing the right thing.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Concluding on this aspect of diplomacy, so that we can move on to the border unrest along the borders between the Southern Cameroons and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Recently, you signed into law some constitutional amendments that have affected the change of name of from interim government to government, from interim House of Representatives to now the House of Assembly. You've explained there is a lot of literature already out there from Dr. Mungwa, from your office, explaining, and even your speeches telling us the historicity and legality of this act that you've done. Even the state emblem has been changed. I want to apologize to you and Amazonians that we've been unable to do the infrastructure. But before the year ends, you will not have the president's office with the old emblem anymore. But then, in terms of diplomacy, how will these changes help to affect our endeavor?
The truth is that we have an argument for what we do. So the problem we had with complete new structures and trying to make the argument that we have restored our nation. We had a problem because it did not make sense. We could not make it clear how we have restored our nation, but we have created a new nation. So it put us within the box of secessionists. We were trying to argue that we are not secessionists, but everything we did projected us as secessionists. We created a new thing out of something. That is secession. But when we say we are now this government of the Southern Cameroons, Amazonia, we are emphasizing the action of restoration. So we have emphasized the action of restoration, not just by words only, but by the very nomenclature. We are now the restored government. You only restore that which was there, not what was not there. When you bring in what was not there, it's called a new creation. And you create a new thing when there was nothing. And therefore, that means you are carving out yourself to create a new thing. That's secession. We are not. So this present nomenclature buttresses our argument of restoration. Good. So once restoration is clearly understood, it makes our case better. Because nations don't want to deal with secession. Because every country has its own kind of secessional movements, small or big, that are going on. Even in the United States, there are all secessionist tendencies. Here and there, you hear Texas say they want to leave the federation. Everywhere in Nigeria, in Ghana, in South Africa, everywhere you go, there are little secessionists, and nations don't support the idea of taking one and break it into two, which was previously one. But our argument of restoration says, no, we were annexed. So here we are. Okay, this is the government of Foncha that now we represent. So will you tell Foncha, will you call Foncha a secessionist if he stood before you? No, that would be like insanity. So that this one buttresses our argument right now. So our next phase, we are going to go zero down on recognition, and we are going to be able to approach those people who voted for our independence, and we're going to approach them with authority, with legality. We are not going to. They are not going to start asking them, asking us, "Who are you?" and guessing what this is all about. No, simple. We are the government that you voted for. This is it. In the articles of the United Nations, in the very treaties, in the resolutions, we are there. So that's what you voted for. This is the government you voted for, and ask that this government should meet with this other government and try to try to establish a foundation for a new nation. This is that government. So we are going to be we on that on this uh, at this stage, we can go to the United Nations and seek membership. Just anything that Foncha could do, we will do now. Then you cannot come in the name of one interim something something you have created, and you come somewhere and say you represent somebody. That person did not wear an interim garment. How can you represent him? You only you can we can only restore what was there and represent what was there. We cannot restore our own thing or create our own thing and claim it represents what was there, which is not the same. So we have every legality now, and we are going to explore legality to the fullest. That's what this year is going to be all about.
You know, scripture teaches us that even ministers of God had different revelations.
Yes.
And I would say what you're doing today is a kind of a greater light of whatever was done in Zaria. I saw a video, someone brought it to my attention, of the dismissed Secretary of State for Communication, actually using the cliche of the people. And this was his statement. I know you may not want to respond to that directly, but his statement, in an attempt to sabotage this endeavor, it says whatever we are doing in this diaspora, which I believe, and I tell people all the time that he is clueless when it comes to the historicity and legality of our movement. He says, this is what he says. He says the people would determine in a way of sabotaging it. And that's a cliche. A lot of people who are not vigilant may really think that you are not really doing this for the people. How is this? Again, maybe you want to re-emphasize that. How is it in benefit of the people? And how is it legal, even though you did not involve the larger Amazonian crowd, especially those at the home front?
In a revolutionary democracy, you deal with representatives. You deal with representatives. That means a representative segment of the people, and a people who reflect the general will of the people. That's what you deal with. There is no democracy where everybody is seated somewhere and they said they decided on something. So in a revolutionary democracy, which we are right now, that is what is happening. When the people's representatives sit together and make a decision, and when that decision is for the best interest of the people and the cause of the people, it is the law of the land. The, it's not only by universal suffrage, but uh, in a representative uh, arrangement, like a constituent assembly everywhere in the world, decisions are made. Talk less of a revolutionary system like ours. Now, so the next question we need to answer is the right or wrong of a thing. If something is really wrong, by all logic, but some group of people are trying to impose it on the masses, then you can talk of something else. You can probably begin to talk about the people because you have understood the rightness or the wrongness. So let somebody now forget about going beating about the bush. Talk to me about the rightness or the wrongness of restoring that which, and the rightness or the wrongness of creating a new thing when your mind is restoration. How do you create a new thing when your political mantra is restoration? So what do you mean by restoration if there is no restoration? So if you want to tell me that somebody represents the people more, or somebody is doing things despite the people, is not doing it for the people, let's look at the evidence in terms of the rightness or the wrongness or the appropriateness of a decision. Because when the decision is not appropriate, you can accuse leadership of being selfish. But when it's appropriate, when it is the right thing to do, you cannot say they are being selfish. They don't care about the people. So tell me how this is not appropriate. How can we say we have restored a government and we did not restore it? We created something else. Yes, if Paul Biya and the other Yaoundé corrupt elite, if they decided to talk about to create the Southern Cameroon government and subject it to Yaoundé, and you are holding interim government, what will we become? Because we did not restore it. That's what we were supposed to restore. When you say you are restoring something, I'm taking the country back, you are actually putting back what was there. So you have restored it. If you have not restored it, and if these people did something, they were called it, will you be arguing that no, it is the interim that is correct, the government is not correct? No. So it was a lapse on our part. It was a half measure. We did not think through. But thank God we have been able to do the right thing. And happening at this time, I can still say it is the right time. Because we said we restored, but if we had even thought about the dictionary definition of restore, we would have done differently in 2017. Or would have called it something else.
Thank you for that explanation. I hope those who were insinuating that is just a way of you abandoning the IG that has been so polarized have now had their answer. One thing that was actually changed was the emblem. And for those of you who really want to understand, the emblem was well thought through by the same mind that you're listening to now and a group of others. And we're going to give you a few minutes to understand what that really is. Right after that, it's just about a few seconds there that explains it. Right after that, the president will be talking to us about the border unrest along Southern Cameroon and Federal Republic of Nigeria. Stay
Sovereign silhouette, the emblem of Ambazonia. From the azure embrace of the Atlantic reflecting from the Ambas Bay, the iconic Sako mountain ascends with a silent, stoic grace, carving a silhouette against the sky. This towering sentinel is more than a geographical marvel. It is the heart of Southern Cameroons, the stoic guardian of Ambazonia, a symbol steadfast as the unyielding spirit manifests in the unity of the lands 13 counties. Encircling this earthen spire, a dove of peace edges its out, untouched and serene. As it soars with wings unfurled, it casts shadows upon the land, each feather a brushstroke of tranquility. Against the canvas of the heavens, 13 stars glimmer, the celestial acknowledgement of each county's shared dreams and harmonious virtues. The dove, in its eternal flight, is not merely a bird, but an embodiment of the collective longing for a peaceful existence under a shared identity. Beneath the mountain top, firmly grounded in the richness of the earth, twin elephant tusks rise as natural monuments. Their arcs, regal and commanding, capture the noble essence of the land spirit animals. This emblem, this seal of Amazonia, is no mere insignia. It is the beacon that illuminates the path to shared prosperity. It is an oasis of unity in a world parched by discord, a visual whisper of a nation's promise, echoing across generations. Every curve, every symbol within the emblem tells the story of Southern Cameroons, an epic scripted by the enduring strength and unity of its communities. Each page imbued with the hopes and enduring spirit of its people. Sovereign silhouette, the emblem of Amazonia.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your patience and wisdom. This is where we are as a nation and as a people. And we are moving on to something very important that may also encapsulate what we just watched. It has to do with the border unrest between Southern Cameroons, Amazonia, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your government, on several counts, in fact, even before it happened, Dr. Mungwa had sent out an audio in that regard. What do you have to say?
You know, we are dealing with an adversary, with an enemy that has actually lost the war. When Paul Biya climbed on that rostrum or whatever at the Simaling airport on the 30th of November 2017 to declare war, he declared war, not games. His aim was to wipe out every resistance, massacre, butcher everyone who stood against the authority of the annexor or annexationist, and do that within record time. I think within 2 weeks. I think the soldiers had they had a mission a timeline of 2 weeks, and put an end to this. He took no questions. That was it. That was the war he declared. But when you see the same people today playing games, looking for people, trying to become the gorillas now, going on Mufti, trying to recruit people, trying to use DDR, try to go into villages, kill civilians, and do all kinds of things, playing all kinds of games. It means they have lost the war. They did not They did not set up to play games. They came to win the war. When they lost the war, they started playing. They just started trying to win by other means. They want to win by all means, by other means, especially because they cannot win this by the military option, by fighting us, fighting the Amazonians. Even their own people have confessed that now they're only killing civilians and their soldiers are dying too. So this is not how they wanted to. This is not the war they decided to fight. They came to kill us and onto subjection or submission. So, what is part of their strategy? Part of their strategy has been to kill our people and turn our civilians against the struggle so that we will lose it by our own. Yes. Part of their strategy was to start recruiting from amongst us people who yesterday were carrying the blue and white flag and saying we will all die Amazonia forever. And recruit them and see how they can use them to destroy the very backbone of the struggle. That's it. Those are all manipulation. Then their other strategy is to ensure that if they can turn the population against the Amazonian struggle, then the people they'll submit themselves as slaves to La Republic because of the fear of their own people. Then they needed Nigeria by all costs. So they have, since 2019, they have been on a mission to get Nigeria on their side. Of course, they got the political machinery of Buhari. I don't know whether it was Buhari himself or his own political machinery, like DSS and the rest. They got them. That is how they were able to kidnap our people and take them to Cameroon, our leaders. So, but that was not good enough because the people, Nigeria as a people, not really buy that. You know that the court even judged the matter against the government. So it means that the government was not fully on their side. So they needed to get the people on their side, and they also needed to get everyone working with them against Amazonia. So they hatched a plan since that 2019 to start killing people along the borders, to do senseless killings of people. They started with in Taraba. They have killed in Taraba. They have killed in Bakassi more than once. They kill along the Cross River area, but mostly they have done that in Taraba, where they come in with no motives. The killers give no motives for the killings, and it's all like a butchery. They just butcher. They say, "Oh, Amazonians have butchered them." Then they withdraw. The Republic pays for those actions. Because if that, and then immediately instrumentalize the political system, make sure they reach the parliamentarian representing the people of that area, so that they can affect the political machinery, can turn them around, and then get media over that issue, so that the people, the political machinery, the government can be on their side. The French are very instrumental in this because they know the power of Nigeria in the sub-region. They know that you cannot do much in that whether it is in ECOWAS or with La République du Cameroun. You cannot do much without Nigeria. So the French, in their strategy, are doing everything to have Nigeria on their side. And part of the strategy with Yaoundé has been to play this boogeyman strategy, which is something is coming. These people they are terrible, they are dangerous. They are not only against us. You guys think that they are good people. Look, they are coming against you. And if you let them have their way, you will suffer what we are suffering. So that is the boogeyman strategy they have employed by killing our people, killing our Nigerians, and trying to find ways to put that on us. Because it's simple. They just take off their uniform the same way they kill people at Egbeko, the same way they kill people at Mother Teresa, the same way they killed in Gabu. That's how they do. They just do, but they now do it along the borders to give the impression of Amazonians are doing it, so
Of
that
Amazonians infiltrating a foreign land.
yes, so now they start thinking, the Nigerian government has to now start thinking, what do we do with these Amazonians who are killing our people? They are bad people then. So let's join La Republic to fight them. So they will have an ally for
So it
them.
is like Nigeria is they are trying to seek for alliance with Nigeria, either
Yes,
to interfere our initiatives along the
yes,
borders.
yes. To help them to work actively for them, even if they are not going to let their soldiers go full scale to war with Amazonia, they're just to collaborate with them because they have a common enemy. They want to present us as their common enemy. So they have the Cameroon government is busy orchestrating this kind of hits, killing innocent Nigerians, inflicting pain on Nigerian communities along the borders, and trying to impute that on Amazonia just in order to get Nigeria as an ally in their fight against Amazonia. That is their strategy. I said this when they did that in Taraba, and the
No,
parliamentarian made the statements he made in their parliament. I did it. I said the same things, and this is what is happening. Sometimes we even give out this intelligence before the acts
yeah,
actually are
yeah,
committed.
Mr. President, talking about giving that, I think we have a good record of that. And I would like the world watching us today to actually see that you act sometimes like a prophet, and Nigeria is seemingly not learning. And even before the situation in Bakassi, you had predicted it. So let's watch and we'll comment right after that.
In Taraba State, residents of Takum local government area are still in shock over an early hour attack on their community that left 11 persons dead, including a traditional ruler. The attack was alleged to have been carried out by Amazonian soldiers from the Republic of Cameroon. That attack happened at Manga village. Takum local government area is a border community between Taraba State and the Republic of Cameroon. A source told TVC News that the Amazonian soldiers first attacked the border community in the Cameroon Republic before crossing over to Nigeria to unleash mayhem. For more on that attack now, let's bring in the President Interim Government of Amazonia, Samuel Sako, who joins us live via Zoom from the United States. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. Help us get clarity on this incident. What actually transpired? What is a casualty figure?
We are still to get to the bottom of the casualty figures, but just as you have reported, we have learned that there are about 11 people were killed, and that amongst them was a traditional ruler. And we really deeply express our sympathies to the people and the communities. But I want you to understand that this act was not carried out by Amazonian fighters. We have no interest in attacking the community that has shown us so much love, hospitality, and sympathy for 5 years now. In the month of September, on the 3rd of September precisely, that's more than 2 months ago, I gave an interview to the Punch newspaper where we shared a piece of intelligence about the plans of the genocidal regime, Yaoundé, to disguise as security forces and attack Nigerians, civilians, and authorities along the borders just to destroy the sympathy that these communities have shown to our people and to buy Nigeria on their side for their annihilation project in Amazonia. This is not our act. None of us can do that. We don't have any interest to do that. This is not serving our interests at all. And we have had such a good relationship with these communities, and we have no reason, because Nigerians are not attacking us. They are instead helping us and receiving us. Those who don't want us to have this place of refuge for our 125,000 refugees who are hosted by these communities are the ones who are perpetrating this act. Just go back to our piece of intelligence that we shared with the Nigerian press. You will see it clearly. It's happening verbatim.
Mr. President, it would appear that even the Nigerian government and maybe leaders of community leaders are seemingly not taking, because this is not just the first. Before that incident, you predicted it, anticipated it, and it happened, but your government was accused. And after that, again, it has happened and happened again. And the media, nor the government, is seemingly not taking interest in whatever you are able to predict.
Yeah, you know that this kind of criminals, this kind of state criminals are very, very, very slippery. When they discover that we are on their heels, we keep on revealing these things and telling the people about what is going on. The intelligence we receive, we don't keep it to ourselves, we share it and publicize it. What they do is that sometimes they revise their strategy, they revise their operation, they change their calendar, they might even change locations, but they will still do the same thing. So uh, uh, I can tell you that anytime we reveal what they are planned to do, they will not stop it, but they will make some changes based on the fact that the intel is already out there. So what we are going to do when things like this happen is to all constantly remind people. Sometimes they will even delay it because we have the intelligence has been leaked. They have to delay it. And the purpose of delaying it is that by the time they will be executing it, people would have forgotten that there was an intelligence to this matter, to this issue. And then they will be able to buy their propaganda and their narrative. So that is what they do, and they will keep doing. And if anyone of the Nigeria authority or the political machinery is listening to me, listen. This is what La République du Cameroon has planned to do. They will keep on doing it as long as you keep believing their propaganda. They will say it is working. They will keep on doing it until such a time that they are able to turn communities against our people. They are able to use the state machinery against our people, and who will be doing it thinking that in reality they are trying to save Nigerians from the enemy. We are not the enemy, meanwhile they are the enemy. So this is something that right now I call on all the activists and our friends in the press in Nigeria. This is the moment to bring out all the alerts that were put out, all the pieces of intelligence we have shared. This is the time for us to remind them and then understand the things I've said about what happened in Bakassi. You can already see their modus operandi. They go to a community where our people have no problem with that community. We have no issues with that community. We have no problems with the people there. Those are not CPDM people who are promoting something against us. It's a place where these are innocent people just sitting there. They will just come in there because there is no enough security around them, go there, disguise in mufti, and then carry out the massacre, then withdraw. They are the ones who have the capacity to, by boat or by sea, by what during this rainy season and so on. They are the ones who have the capacity to go everywhere. Yeah, like in Bakassi, they are the ones who have the capacity to go to all those places. Then they will go to those places, commit the act, and then quickly send the information to their proxies in the media, to their surrogates. They are always another characteristic is that they are the first to publish their own acts, and then they say it's Amazonia that did it. When Amazonians do anything, they are the first to issue out the information, to send out the information, and there's always a justification coming with the act, either from the video collected from the or from it, or from the commentaries they receive from it. It doesn't come to us as a surprise. And it doesn't come to they don't go to a place and go and kidnap 30 people just because they want to kidnap 30 people. No. No, okay, those 30 people did what? And then they kidnap 30 people, they ask nothing from them. They just want the act to be recorded that 30 people were kidnapped. You see, even common criminals don't act like that. Common criminals will kidnap in order to gain something, to get something, to get some money so that they will be paid. That that when these criminals in Yaoundé orchestrate all these things, they leave all these clues that if you are smart, you don't just waste your
Just
time to listen to their narratives. Yes.
it's just a minute. Now, talking about who is responsible, I understand your government is totally disinclined to the purported alliance between Namdi Kano's IPOP and Cho Ayaba's EGOV-C. We've seen in recent days atrocities happening around the Bakassi Peninsula, and an allied force between this Biafran faction and the Cho Ayaba are trying to claim responsibility, which could jeopardize your argument because the international community, until now we speak, the media still calls all of them Amber fighters. This is something I know it's complex for you to rectify, but how, from your strategic perspective, do you intend to prosecute this matter of not just effectively distinguishing your government and your endeavors from this group, but also to get a formidable force on ground that could help prevent some of their criminal activities?
I want to warn the people that and the international community that there is no alliance whatsoever between any group in Amazonia and what do they call them? Is it IPOP? Let
Yes,
me
IPOP.
let me explain to you what I mean. There is media alliance. There's just a media alliance. They do those propaganda stunts together on the media. If you want to tell me of the alliance, tell me in concrete what's the alliance? Where are the fighters who are collaborating with which fighters? That is the deception. Unfortunately, many people will not look at it for the substance of it. They will just look at the just the appearance of it. There is no such an alliance. If a military say they have alliance, if the Amazonian Restoration Forces have an alliance with anybody, it will translate into the concrete actions that will be carried out by both sides. So there is a media alliance that is being paraded here and there. And because both of them have the desire to exist, at least in the internet space, if not for any other reason. They want to remain present in the media space. So they put up these media alliances. And they also want to remain relevant, if not for any other reason, but for the fact that somebody can talk about them. because there's some people want to exist only in terms of at least some people talked about me this week. They don't care whether they talked about good, they talk good about them or bad. The fact that somebody talked about them at least makes them relevant and still in existence. So all this claiming, sometimes claiming of responsibility, it's a Yaoundé job. It's a propaganda machinery of Yaoundé that has created them and created these fake media alliances to be making noise around. Because in substance, from Dunga Manto to Ndian, where is the alliance? Where is the alliance? Where is who and who working together? There's nothing like that. So nobody should be deceived. These are all propaganda actors employed by Yaoundé to claim responsibility for anything that is capable of tarnishing our image, anything that is able to drive La Republique's agenda, and any way they want to implicate our community, they use them for that. Anything they want, okay, like now they want to, you see, I talked of the boogeyman strategy. This fake media alliance is also used by La Republique and the French to tell the Tinubu administration, for example, they say, I know that your major fear is the Biafra. All right. If you fear Biafra, fear these people too. The question will be why? He said, because they are working with Biafra. Don't you see the images? When I say something exists only in the media, take it serious. Do this. Go off the media for 2 weeks. Delete those pages that you know that sell the propaganda for 2 weeks. Tell me in concrete terms what remains of the so-called alliance. Does not exist. So these ones have been hired by Yaoundé to sell their propaganda against the struggle. As far as these actions of La Republique, disguising to be Amazonians along the borders are concerned, these particular actions, they are not the product of any concrete alliance. That these are lone wolf actions by La Republique du Cameroon actors to do this evil, that use these other structures they have put in place and all these others they have recruited from our community to sell that agenda effectively to the international community and to the government of Nigeria, telling them these people are indeed dangerous. You see, look at them. Look at their picture. Then they'll put those pictures out so that at least they can show a picture to the director of DSS. Look at it. Then they'll say, "Oh my God!" So they are working. But where are they working? Nowhere. Their eyes in the sky. Their eyes all around. Even those communities themselves have people and people who can report. There is no such alliance. Nothing does not exist. Those are propagandists who are selling propaganda for a living.
It's important for Ambazonians to always listen from you because of the inspiration that you carry. We're getting into the last aspect of our conversation, and it has to do with economic sabotage. We've seen it in recent days how it is affecting Cameroon tremendously. For several days, they've had dryness of fuel in their national territory, and there's a debate that was happening on television, and Diodene Esomba made some comments. It's in a report from Actu Cameroon, which is now bringing into the limelight the difficulty, not just the difficulty that Cameroon is facing, but the imminent danger. According to what he's advising his government, they may have to ask Nigeria, where fuel prices has tremendously escalated, to start giving them fuel. That's really an apology. Now, with your strategy, would you say that your strategy is effectively working. And now that you're fully accomplished this phase of economic sabotage, and Cameroon is not even willing to still give up, what will be the next phase you will tackle to enforce economic or extend economic sabotage and the impact on neighboring La République du Cameroon?
When a man is tired, he has only one option: to stop or to continue and die. That's what it is. When a man is tired, whether in a race or in a fight, I see in the ring, for those who do wrestling, they tap like this. When you tap 1, 2, 3, they stop the fight. So you have a choice: either to tap and it is over, or you refuse to tap. And if there's no referee in that ring, you will die. That's the truth, and that's the reality now. Cameroon is finished. I started my discourse on the 1st of October, and I made this statement. Let me say this again, that the strength, the victory in our struggle does not depend entirely on our strength, but also on the weaknesses of the enemy. And I can tell you that victory is here. Not because we are super strong, we are now jets and so on, we are super, because the enemy is finished. If you want to show us our scars, oh, you have some scars here, the enemy has also fought you, you have done a lot of this, you could not do, okay, turn around the other side and tell me how better is the enemy right now since we started. and so I can tell you that economic sabotage has destroyed La République. In 2017, we just barely started the war. In 2018, Total transferred all, Total is the owner of Sonara, one of the major owners of Sonara. They transferred all their assets to Cote d'Ivoire. That's a major loss. Do you know how many more companies moved their capital to safety zones? And since then, how many major companies brought in capital? The country has basically, since we decreed economic sabotage, all that was coming out from our zone, except crude, is no more going to benefit them again, except crude. But fortunately for us, they have maxed their credit card on the crude. Everything around the crude is paying debts. So the rest of what was supposed to come from Amazonia in terms of the cocoa, the coffee, the tea, and so on, the rubber, the banana, and so on, we crushed, we destroyed them. They are spending every month, according to their own statistics, 10 billion francs to support the war. Are you sure they are making 2 billion from Amazonia every month? So that's to tell you that they are crumbling. And I said something in 2018, which I want to reiterate what I mean now. If there is no Amazonia, there will be no Cameroon as we know it. That's what I meant. Because this is the cancer that will destroy Cameroon if they don't decide to cut it off. If they don't decide to say, okay, let go, I will lose that leg, let me lose it. If they insist, there will be no Cameroon as we know it. No Amazonia, no Cameroon. That's the truth. Because by economic sabotage, they are done. Now, this is what they are doing. In this last quarter, because the third quarter, they were not even able to pay their 380 something billion to service debts. I don't know if they finished paying it. Then what has happened to this quarter that's about to end? You know how many 100 billions also? No country survives like that. The only country that can continually support a war right down to victory is a country that has enough reserves because war is a deficit. War is not a positive investment because you are not even manufacturing the weapons you are using. So there's no positive investment in war. Like a country with like Cameroon Republic involving in war is a constant deficit, state of deficit. And now having created the atmosphere of insecurity, every wise investor has packed away, has gone away. Even those of you in the diaspora who used to go out back there that you want to go and do something, you are thinking twice before you do it. So capital is moving out, is not moving inside. The thieves have also discovered that this bank is about to close. So we better get our money out before it crashes. So the thieves have increased their thievery. They are stealing every little thing. Those who are stealing it, they are now richer than the state. The country is done. So when they talk about buying fuel from Nigeria, that kind of idea of buying fuel from Nigeria, here's the thing. They already signed a contract with Total. Total was delivering the fuel to everyone, which is Sonara. Total. They were selling their oil based on certain subsidy because they were supposed to subsidize it so that it will not go above a certain price. And that subsidy was never paid. Every day they say, I go pay, I go pay, I go pay, just supply, I go pay, just supply, I go pay. Now it is in the hundreds of billions with their oil. Now, instead of them to go and service that debt so that Total can continue to give them some credit line to supply more fuel, they decide now to liberalize the marketing of oil or the supply of oil. That's give licenses to other people to buy. That means our creditors, you can go to hell. We don't have money to pay you. We want to give licenses to new sellers to come and sell. Those sellers also know that Total was not paid what they agreed to pay them. You think that there are those sellers now who will pay them? Any seller who wants to sell oil now, finished oil to Cameroon, wants to be paid in cash, does not want a promise. Because when you cannot pay your debt, no creditor wants to give you one and want to give you a loan. So if you want to go to Nigeria, Nigeria has liberalized. They say they have removed all the subsidies, and so the price is the market price. And if you want anybody to supply from Nigeria, Nigeria is not going to take the risk of giving you subsidies when they have not given subsidies to Nigeria. So you have to buy cash and pay. That country is finished. They don't have the money to do that. They don't have the money to do that. Even the countries that used to give them loans in order to do it, to address an emergency like this cannot handle it anymore because you cannot be putting money in a pit. You cannot be funding the impossible. You cannot want to resurrect the dead with food. So you know that they are finished. So that's what is happening. The only wise thing they can do is to turn around and stop whatever has caused the bleeding. Then life will start returning. So that's me. Let go, Amazonia, so you can have a chance to live and start planning again and build an economy that can grow, because there can be no growth. Even survival is a problem. How can you talk about growth for Cameroon?
Wow, that's amazing. I think I don't have much to say there. We've taken more than enough of your time. Mr. President, in conclusion, there's no doubt that of all those who esteem themselves leaders in the Amazonian movement, some even calling themselves president, even when we know that they got there via an illegal means, no one is able to get resources at this time. Intelligence has it that putting all of them together is not even possible for them to have raised even 50,000 or 100,000 a year. Some of them, they do call meetings for fundraisers, and even a 5,000 US dollars is almost not feasible. Now, they would have to lie We've heard about registration of the government in America as one lie. We've heard about a diplomatic mission. At the end of the day, we realized it was just another temporary office for documentation, like a secretariat. And then there is a big title called diplomatic missions. That's not even where I'm driving at. I'm saying that you have stakeholders, men and women, who have committed their spirit, their substance to your vision in a very tremendous way. And in fact, based on statistics or reports, your government, from central government, counties, into ABC Amber TV, has been able to mobilize more than half a million US dollars this year for to prosecute your vision as we intend to liberate the nation. What do you have to tell these stakeholders in projection of the day you have called on the 30th, and in projection of next year as we continue to ensure that our nation is free?
I am I'm very happy. I'm very proud of all those people who are still standing with us, with the people of Ambazonia, who are standing by our vow, our collective vow to fight to the end, who have made sacrifices and are making more at this time. In times of stress, as we pass through for the past 1 year or so, instead of giving up, some people doubled their sacrifices. I appreciate you. And let me tell you this, that history will remember. Remember, now we are going through what we are going through. These people say we are right, the other one says say we are wrong. But I tell you, there is a generation that will look beyond uh, whatever we went through, and be able to apportion the right recognition on what we did. And I want to think that we will be on the right side for what we did, for what you did. I want to appreciate everyone on the 30th of December. For those of us who are in the DC area, those of us who are members of government across the United States, and even if you are in Europe, you want to come around, and some of the laureates, if I don't know if will need to publish the name so that you can come and receive, but you don't, even if you are not around because you are in Europe, we will endeavor to show your prize and my appreciation. I want to personally pen my letters of appreciation to everyone, especially to certain people who went the extra mile to shoulder the revolution, to put us where we are right now, to give us hope that we will surely finish this that we started. I will be appreciating from county to county. Within the ABC, I will be appreciating people. Within the central government, for what some people have done, even if we cannot give your name, we can give you a name that you want it to be. But I want to appreciate you. If yes, if you are available, I want to shake your hand. If not, I want to be able to pen in wet ink your signature on that paper and then send it to you in appreciation. And if it's a medal, I want to personally pin it on you. I want to send my appreciation on that day to all the ARFs. I have a surprise for them, for all the ARFs and our generals on the ground. So Amazonia is a meritorious society. We are going to create a society where we are recognized for our merit, irrespective of where we come from, what our names are, our last names are, or what tribe, or what zone, or what county. So we are going to have series of recognitions on that day. We just want to set the pace for what we are going to do even more next year. We are going to appreciate you. I will give you a few numbers, some numbers concerning me at the center, so that as I close the year, I want to close it well. I'll be able to read out some numbers to you, what we are to everyone, and then close the year with all of you. So that will be about 2 days before the year ends. I'm inviting you. If you are interested, then contact members of government and see that we can be together. So that's what I can say. I want to thank you for those who can make it good. It will be my pleasure that we end it together. That started well, to end well. So that is it. Then look forward to Saturday, or the 31st. The 31st is a Sunday for those in the diaspora, but on the 1st of January, I have a special message to us that will be coming to you, to everyone, on the 31st of December. I have some things I will just reserve for that day to express to Ambazonians. And God will continue to bless our beautiful country, and we shall all get there by His grace. We shall get closer this year than we were last year, or next year than we are this year.
Ambazonian Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 2023.
In the heart of Ambazonia, a new chapter unfolds as valor meets recognition. This is not just another evening news story, it is the dawn of a tradition that will echo through time. Join us on December 30th for a historic broadcast as we bring to you the first ever Ambazonia Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 23. Beneath the indomitable skies of freedom, President Samuel Sako will honor our heroes, men and women whose pursuits for autonomy have become the lifeline of a nation. In a land graced by bravery, watch as we cast a spotlight on those who've sacrificed beyond measure. APRA 23 isn't just an awards ceremony. It is the embodiment of our unity, strength, and the unyielding spirit of Ambazonia. Ignite the torch of pride with us. Feel the heartbeat of a cultural renaissance, ready to inspire generations to come. APRA 23 aims to pave the path towards monumental accomplishment. Witness the extraordinary, be part of a legacy as we broadcast live from the first APRA, where the end of the year marks the beginning of a lasting tribute. For the people of Ambazonia, join us in embracing this journey, commemorating the guardians of the Ambazonian heritage and scripting the narrative for the Ambazonian future. APRA 23, a testament of resilience, honoring the soul of a nation. This December 30th, be there when history is made.
Echoing with hope, Ambazonian Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 2023, where heroes rise and legends are born.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, and that was it with the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, an exclusive discussion where we expanded on issues relating to diplomacy, on issues relating to the triumph that President Sako has been able to attain um, in front of a challenging time. Kansas City 3. Today, hopes have been raised. Today, questions have received answers. Today, a vision has been expanded upon in another very extraordinary means. And we look forward to ending the year together and stronger. We have a lot of programs ahead for you this year. The Women's Department is currently working for an outreach with the refugees on behalf of the President of the Federal Republic of Amazonia to make sure that some refugees are celebrated upon. What I know is that they will be giving donations to refugees in Ground One, to prisoners of war, and they intend to extend even right into Ghana. That's amazing. When this happens, we will bring to you the reports. On other aspects that of great importance would be, like you've just watched, there's an international press conference with President Sako on the 29th. During this press conference, the president will have an opportunity to introduce to the international community and the international press the changes that have taken place after he signed into law the constitutional amendments. On the 30th, we're having APRA 23, the first of its kind. And like you heard Smart saying there, it's going to be a tradition that will happen yearly until we get to Boya. And on the 31st, we will be having the president looking into the eyes of Ambazonians to tell us how beautiful this year has been once again, and then probably to tell us the day we are finally going to enter Boya based on his estimation. We will leave you at this juncture with ABC Amber Television images, and hopefully when next you see us, you will be getting necessary content that will help to liberate our nation. I am calling on you all who have not been participating or who have not had the chance to participate in the two ABC Amber TV days. That's ABC Amber TV Day 1 and Amber TV Day 2. That was a twin project with the women's program over the weekend. That we have the last chance for the year this Saturday. We're going to do it a little bit differently. Ma Endele will be laying out the framework for it. And since we are the pioneers organizing APRA, Amazonia Presidential Recognition Awards, we going to also use this day as a workshop, working with the committees. I understand that Professor Epote is chairperson of this award ceremony. So we'll be working with the committees to ensure that everything is in place. And we're calling on every Amazonia to be a part of this, be a part of our support system, become a club member, become a patron, just become a part, an integral part of this winning team. This is the best media platform in our revolution or in our movement. Without ABC Amber TV, I used to ask this question for you to think for 1 minute. Without ABC Amber Television, what will it be? Where are we going to be? If you just want to remove it for 1 minute, you realize why you need to be involved. Even when you just watch us, when you share our posts and like, you're telling the algorithms on Facebook and on YouTube that, hey, this is important and therefore they should promote it. So whatever contribution you have given so far, for all those who have donated and who have participated behind to ensure our success, I want to tell you thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm not trying to let the cat out of the bag, but just to tell you that this year has been the best year for ABC Amber Television since its creation in 2018. In fact, it's been the best year for everything called media in the nation of Ambazonia since we gained our independence. And I happen to have worked with almost all the media platforms, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. We were not void of challenges. In fact, we had some challenges that were more than the former challenges. But what made the difference was the leadership, was experience. We had learned from some of the errors that predecessors, coupies, you know, there were scoopies and coupists. We've learned from some of that. And I guess that's why we can only get better and get stronger. Right now, I would say good night. My name is Taparike. Stay tuned.
Amazonian Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 2023.
In the heart of Ambazonia, a new chapter unfolds as valor meets recognition. This is not just another evening news story, it is the dawn of a tradition that will echo through time. Join us on December 30th for a historic broadcast as we bring to you the first ever Ambazonia Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 23. Beneath the indomitable skies of freedom, President Samuel Ikome Sako will honor our heroes, men and women whose pursuits for autonomy have become the lifeline of a nation. In a land graced by bravery, watch as we cast a spotlight on those who've sacrificed beyond measure. APRA 23 isn't just an awards ceremony. It is the embodiment of our unity, strength, and the unyielding spirit of Ambazonia. Ignite the torch of pride with us. Feel the heartbeat of a cultural renaissance, ready to inspire generations to come. APRA 23 aims to pave the path towards monumental accomplishment. Witness the extraordinary, be part of a legacy as we broadcast live from the first APRA, where the end of the year marks the beginning of a lasting tribute. For the people of Ambazonia, join us in embracing this journey, commemorating the guardians of the Ambazonian heritage and scripting the narrative for the Ambazonian future. APRA 23, a testament of resilience, honoring the soul of a nation. This December 30th, be there when history is made.
Echoing with hope, Amazonian Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 2023, where heroes rise and legends are born.
Sovereign silhouette, the emblem of Ambazonia. From the azure embrace of the Atlantic reflecting from the Ambas Bay, the iconic Sako mountain ascends with a silent, stoic grace, carving a silhouette against the sky. This towering sentinel is more than a geographical marvel. It is the heart of southern Cameroons, the stoic guardian of Ambazonia, a symbol steadfast as the unyielding spirit manifests in the unity of the land's 13th counties. Encircling this earthen spire, a dove of peace edges its arc, untouched and serene. As it soars with wings unfurled, it casts shadows upon the land, each feather a brushstroke of tranquility. Against the canvas of the heavens, 13 stars glimmer, the celestial acknowledgement of each county's shared dreams and harmonious virtues. The dove, in its eternal flight, is not merely a bird, but an embodiment of the collective longing for a peaceful existence under a shared identity. Beneath the mountain top, firmly grounded in the richness of the earth, twin elephant tusks rise as natural monuments. Their arcs, regal and commanding, capture the noble essence of the land spirit animals. This emblem, this seal of Ambazonia, is no mere insignia. It is the beacon that illuminates the path to shared prosperity. It is an oasis of unity in a world parched by discord, a visual whisper of a nation's promise, echoing across generations. Every curve, every symbol within the emblem tells the story of southern Cameroons, an epic scripted by the enduring strength and unity of its communities. Each page imbued with the hopes and enduring spirit of its people. Sovereign silhouette, the emblem of Ambazonia.
It's an exciting time for ABC Amba TV as we continue to champion the media warfare against the highly polarized mainstream. We want to extend our sincerest thanks to all Ambazonians, ABC Amba TV patrons, club members, partners, and sympathizers for their unwavering support. Your commitment has been the cornerstone of our success, and we are deeply grateful. As we reflect on our achievements and prepare for the upcoming year, we are calling on your continued support to make a meaningful impact. Our end-of-year activities are in the works, and we are seeking your participation and donation to ensure their success. Let's come together to make ABC Amba TV Day a day of strategic engagement and preparation for the future. Your support is crucial to our collective triumph, and we believe that together we can change the world. Thank you for being a part of this revolutionary journey with us. ABC Amba TV, the voice of the voiceless, the voice of Ambazonia. wishing all the people of southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, a Christmas filled with hope, peace, and the warmth of unity in the face of conflict. May the spirit of Christmas bring comfort to the prisoners of conscience, strength to the refugees, and courage to the Ambazonian restoration forces. Let the light of the season inspire us to stand together in solidarity and work towards a future of peace and freedom. From ABC Amba TV, on behalf of the government of Ambazonia, may the message of love and resilience shine brightly in the hearts of all. Christmas of hope, unity in adversity. Ambazonian Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 2023.
In the heart of Ambazonia, a new chapter unfolds as valor meets recognition. This is not just another evening news story, it is the dawn of a tradition that will echo through time. Join us on December 30th for a historic broadcast as we bring to you the first ever Ambazonia Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 23. Beneath the indomitable skies of freedom, President Samuel Sako will honor our heroes, men and women whose pursuits for autonomy have become the lifeline of a nation. In a land graced by bravery, watch as we cast a spotlight on those who've sacrificed beyond measure. APRA 23 isn't just an awards ceremony. It is the embodiment of our unity, strength, and the unyielding spirit of Ambazonia. Ignite the torch of pride with us. Feel the heartbeat of a cultural renaissance, ready to inspire generations to come. APRA 23 aims to pave the path towards monumental accomplishment. Witness the extraordinary, be part of a legacy as we broadcast live from the first APRA, where the end of the year marks the beginning of a lasting tribute. For the people of Ambazonia, join us in embracing this journey, commemorating the guardians of the Ambazonian heritage and scripting the narrative for the Ambazonian future. APRA 23, a testament of resilience, honoring the soul of a nation. This December 30th, be there when history is made.
Echoing with hope, Ambazonian Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 2023, where heroes rise and legends are born. Ambazonian Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 2023.
In the heart heart of Amazonia, a new chapter unfolds as valor meets recognition. This is not just another evening news story, it is the dawn of a tradition that will echo through time. Join us on December 30th for a historic broadcast as we bring to you the first ever Amazonia Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 23. Beneath the indomitable skies of freedom, President Sako will honor our heroes, men and women whose pursuits for autonomy have become the lifeline of a nation. In a land graced by bravery, watch as we cast a spotlight on those who've sacrificed beyond measure. APRA 23 isn't just an awards ceremony. It is the embodiment of our unity, strength, and the unyielding spirit of Amazonia. Ignite the torch of pride with us. Feel the heartbeat of a cultural renaissance, ready to inspire generations to come. APRA 23 aims to pave the path towards monumental accomplishment. Witness the extraordinary, be part of a legacy as we broadcast live from the first APRA, where the end of the year marks the beginning of a lasting tribute. For the people of Amazonia, join us in embracing this journey, commemorating the guardians of the Amazonian heritage and scripting the narrative for the Amazonian future. APRA 23, a testament of resilience, honoring the soul of a nation. This December 30th, be there when history is made.
Echoing with hope, Amazonian Presidential Recognition Awards, APRA 2023, where heroes rise and legends are born.